Do you own a index universal life insurance policy, often commonly referred to as an IUL? If you do, make sure you understand the pros as well as the cons to that policy. Millions of Americans have been sold index universal life insurance policies. They have become one of the hottest products on the life insurance market. Just like many products, they have their time and their place. And so I'm not here today to bash IUL. I have many clients that own IULs, and I've seen many other people purchase them throughout the years. But it's important to also understand the cons and things to be aware of with those policies. So a index universal life insurance policy is a spin-off of universal life insurance. So universal life insurance has been around for many, many decades. It was a product that was commonly sold in the 80s. As an example, my dad owned a universal life insurance policy. And I remember sitting down with my dad when I was young, and he told me that, Joe, I have this universal life insurance policy, and when interest rates are really high, it was earning about 12% interest in my cash value each year, and it provided a guaranteed death benefit. But as I got older and interest rates dropped, the crediting on my policy got as low as 2%. So on a policy that started off at 12% interest, it dropped all the way to 2% when my dad was in his 60s. Index universal life insurance is another interest rate sensitive life insurance product. However, the index on the universal life is the participation in the stock market that these policies have. So, not direct participation in the stock market, but what an IUL does is it offers clients the ability to have the insurance company credit their policy and mirror the performance of a major market index. So for example, many policyholders that own Index Universal Life are in a S&P 500 index, meaning that when the S&P 500 goes up, the insurance company will credit them a interest based off of the market performance. It's not a dollar for dollar performance. It's not money directly invested in the market, but there's a formula the insurance company will use to credit your policy based off of how the market performed. The issue with Index Universal Life sometimes is those rates of return are not guaranteed, just like the stock market is not. However, when it comes to an Index Universal Life policy, think of your money as bumpers in the stock market. When I first started in the life insurance industry, the first policy I ever purchased for myself was an Index Universal Life policy. And so when I first started my policy, I had my money growing in the S&P 500. It earned a maximum of 10% interest and a minimum of 0%. So whatever the market did, if the market did 11%, I got 10%. If the market did 20%, I got 10%. But if the market did negative 5%, I got 0%. So I never had to worry about losing money inside of my policy. However, over the years with that insurance company, they're able to change the rules to the indexing. So what started off as a 10% maximum gain that I could earn, a couple years later was down to a 7.75%. When that was the case, my policy could earn only up to 7.75 now, and it still had that 0% floor. The problem with that is the insurance company can change the rules every single year in that plan.